Yo, what's good, Does Nation? What's good, YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. Sakafet, peace, love, and prosperity. If you are new here, my name is Dudley, aka Dudley Duds, with DudleyDuds.com. And over here, we are all about fitness, entrepreneurship, and overall self-mastery. With that being said, man, you seen the title, you seen the thumbnail. Let's get right into Let's get right into this video, man, in all seriousness. So listen, in this video, I'm gonna give you 6 of my top tips, and this is all based off of experience, of things that I didn't always avoid in the beginning of my 20s. And now that I'm on the second half of my 20s, in a couple of years, you feel me, I'll be in my 30s. I wanna tell you 6 things that I wish somebody would have told me before. Let's get right into it, man.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, might crash, might wreck. But first die, stretch. Tell them run it up.
So these are 6 things that I believe all men in their 20s should avoid, or at the very least, limit and control, so that you can get further in life. Number 1, separate yourself from people that do not serve you. What do I mean by that specifically? In my late teens and my early 20s, you know what I'm saying, I was going out partying, you feel me? I was an athlete, I was a basketball player, I was on scholarship, I got my first scholarship offer. I was feeling myself, man. Partying, people around me were doing drugs. I never actually got into the drug, right? You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a little bit of smoking. I never got into the drugs, right? But everybody around me was doing drugs. They were partying all the time. And I definitely got lost up in that partying, lifestyle for many years. Now, one thing I can say about that, I wish I would have only dealt with people that served me. Because towards the other half of your 20s, when you start to actually really develop, really grow, because you got to understand, a man's brain is still physically developing even up at the age of 25. And so all the way through my late teens and early 20s, you feel me, I was partying, you know what I'm saying, I was doing all these different things. I should have been building up my foundation as a man. I should have been started a business, or for people that aren't interested in business, start something that's going to benefit you in the long haul. And you're going to see exactly what I mean when I get down to these later tips. But definitely one mistake that all men in their 20s should avoid is not dealing with people that serve. At the early years of our life, we deal with a lot of acquaintances, associates, people that we kind of know, that we see, that we dap up, but they're not really doing anything for you. They're just around you. As you get older, your energy, your time is going to get more important to you. As you level up, you're gonna realize that you just can't have no bums around you. You just can't have no regular chicks around you. You can't have regular people around you. You need positive energy around you. You need progressive energy around you. So the number 1 mistake that all men should avoid in their 20s, and this is in no particular order, but it's stop dealing with people that do not serve you. A lot of men in their 20s deal with people that do not serve them, and I believe that is a big mistake. I mean, in all seriousness, how many people do you actually talk to today from college? I bet you it's probably less than 2% of people. Let's be honest. Unless you still live in your same city, and even then, it's probably still gonna be like 1%. Ooh. Number 2, this one is a real one, and again, I'm speaking from experience. This one, a lot of men are not gonna like, man. A lot of people aren't gonna like this one. Wasting all your time chasing women, or wasting all your time on women. Now, let me clarify. Even if you, oh man, I don't chase women, man. I'm this, man. I'm that. You feel me? I'm a high value man. I'm there. No, you're not. First things first, right? You gotta understand, and this is coming from somebody, because I'm about to get real transparent with y'all. This is coming from somebody who, I used to have 3 girls in a day, sometimes 4 girls in a day, 2 at one time. And let me tell you about that type of lifestyle, right? Because it's fun while you're doing it, but then again, it's not, right? When you're dealing with a lot of women, it's a lot of energy, and you don't have time to do something that's actually gonna benefit you. As I'm saying this to you guys, I remember this one particular time in my life that changed how I view things. It was this one particular day. Mind you, I had a girl that I was dating, you know what I'm saying? We weren't official, it was more like a situationship, but nonetheless, we were dating. Everybody knew that we were dating. And so, you feel me? I hit that, had another date, shorty came through, boom, did my thing, you know what I'm saying? Washed up, polished up, and then slid to my third joint's house. And I went to my third joint's house, ended up spending the night. And I remember the next day I woke up, you feel me, at like 6 a.m. You know, I dipped, went to my car because I had another date with another shorty at like 9 a.m. I was wilding. As I'm walking to my car, there was a note on my windshield. It was from my girl. And she wrote, I hope that bitch was worth it. And my heart sunk, you feel me? It sunk for many different reasons than just getting caught. But it was like, as I was driving my stank ass across the bridge back home, I started thinking, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is not productive. I say I have all these goals, I say I have all these dreams, but I'm busting like 5 gallons of nuts a day on women that do not serve me, when I should be building up my foundation as a man. I should be focused on developing myself, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, emotionally, financially. Like, in your 20s, you should be, think of yourself as a big catapult, a big rubber band. And in your 20s, you're just pulling yourself back. And in your 30s, you're just flying. Because in your 30s, you feel me, is when a lot of people say that a man really starts to become a man, really starts to, you know, get to know himself in his like mid 30s, right? That's when you really start to level up. But if you waste your 20s on these mistakes that I'm about to share with you, you're gonna see how and why we have people that are 40 and still not doing nothing, 50 and still not doing nothing. So I would say the number 2 mistake that a lot of men in their 20s make is just wasting way too much time on women, man. The women will always be there, especially when you level up as an individual, as a man. Your energy will be infectious, your aura will be dope. So you're gonna get the women regardless. And it was after this experience that I started to be way more selective with the women that I spent my time with and how many women I indulge in at once. I need my energy, which leads me into number 3, the third mistake that, you know, men in their 20s commonly do. And this is actually correlated to the second one. But number 3 is simply wasting all your life energy, man. I mean, think about it. You sitting at your desk, you in your car, you in the bathroom, you in the bed, I don't know where you doing, but you just sitting there fapping, just blowing just rivers of nut all over yourself. I'm not here to judge you, but on a more serious note, every time you know what I'm saying, blow that load, that's enough energy to run like 20 miles. Think about if you could transmute that into actually benefiting yourself. A good book that talks about this is Think and Grow Rich. This is one of the most powerful books that changed my perspective on, you know, ejaculation, on servitude, on all the above. Wasting your life force is something that a lot of us young men do, especially in our 20s at the peak of our testosterone. You're just busting gallons all over the place. And what is that actually doing? I'm not one of these people that's gonna say, oh, don't watch porn. Whatever you want to do with your time is cool, but don't let it become an addiction, man. and y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Do not let it become an addiction, man. Where, listen, you know, have you ever been, you know, at work, driving home, and you're like, man, I can't wait to get home so I can watch that scene? Listen, that's a problem. That is a problem. Don't let it get to that level, man. So the third mistake that a lot of men unfortunately succumb to is just wasting your life force energy on, whether it's women, whether it's on, you know, masturbating, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not productive. It's not productive, man. Use your 20s to grind, to really get it, to really catapult yourself and solidify yourself as an individual, as a man. Better yourself. Put those resources, bag the gallons up, you feel me? Like you at Publix or something, and just put those resources towards something else, man. I'm telling you. And watch how your life changes. Watch how much further you get when you get into your 30s and 40s. The fourth mistake that a lot of men don't make in their 20s, and this is a long one right here. This is simply focusing on developing yourself, your mind, your body, and spirit. A lot of us don't stay in shape in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I mean consistent, man. Like, you hitting the gym 5 days a week. You're personally developing yourself mentally. You know, men, a lot of us don't really mature until later years. And so when you got a strong foundation, your mind is right, your body is right, your spirit is right, you're emotionally stable. There's a lot of men that are not emotionally stable. They're very impulsive. And so a lot of mistakes that men make in their 20s, you feel me, especially early 20s, is, look, you have got to get a foundation and get a consistent schedule. When we're young, it's easy to just do what we want because a lot of us are living at home with our parents. But the thing is, man, it shouldn't be your goal to stay at your parents' house. You got to become a man. And in your 20s, the mistake a lot of men make is thinking that they're gonna be kids forever. You feel me? And the truth is, we're not. So you gotta work on yourself physically. You gotta work on yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And all these things tie into each other, man. You busting gallons of nuts. You're wasting time on people that don't serve you. You're not working on yourself emotionally. Before you know it, man, you're gonna look up and be 35 and you're still at your mom's house without a job. You're balding, you feel me? And you got a fupa. So listen, this is very imperative that as men, we hold ourselves accountable. And if you can't hold yourself accountable, get you some friends, some solid friends that can serve you, that you guys can benefit mutually, where you guys can collectively grow as a unit. Think and Grow Rich also talks about building a mastermind group of like-minded men that are grinding to become better. And I think that this is something that a lot of men don't talk about. You've got to get a solid group of brothers around you, man, to build each other up. That's a fact, and that's a common mistake that a lot of men in their 20s, we just don't do it, man. Like, we're not focused on actually building in this decade, and that's a huge mistake. A fifth mistake that a lot of men in their 20s, whether you're in your early 20s or 20s in general, make. A lot of men, people in general, like to keep up with the Joneses, especially in our age with social media and all this stuff. And as a young man, I definitely still feel the pressure to have to do these things, but I don't care because I'm living for me, right? A common mistake is people that try to keep up with the Joneses when you really don't got the money to do that. You're only doing things for social media to flex. Don't get caught up in that. That's a big mistake, man. And I'll tell you why. They say Instagram is one of the most expensive apps out there because you buy a shirt, you post one picture with it, you can never wear it again. Listen, do you, man. In your 20s, just do you, man. Don't do things for Instagram. Stay focused on yourself. Stay focused on your foundation. And actually just enjoy your life. Work on yourself, man. Don't get caught up with the shiny object syndrome, trying to do things for other people that honestly, they don't matter. Those people don't matter to you. And in our 20s, I think oftentimes we can get caught up with other people and what they're doing. Oh, this person's in Bali, this person is in this country doing that, and I'm at mom's crib. So what? You're building yourself up. Keep your eye on the prize in your 20s, man. You know that as a man, you gotta get it out the mud. There's just more expectation on us to be great. That's true. We gotta be tall, we gotta be handsome, our beard gotta connect, you know what I'm saying, like we gotta have our money right, we gotta be charming, we gotta have a six-pack, all these things. Work on yourself and don't get focused on the outside noise. That stuff doesn't matter. You gotta know how to delay your gratification, man. You gotta know where you're going. And I'm gonna tell you something right now that's an unpopular opinion, okay? Because this is something that I used to struggle with. You gotta stay at your parents' house until you're ready to go. Stay at your parents' house until you're ready to go, until you got the bread. I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was 22. And then I had to move back in when I was 25, okay? And then I got my bread up, and then I left. So listen, you gotta understand, it's okay to be at your parents' house. Just don't make that your final resting place. Understand that you have a goal, that you have a mission, that you have something laid out. And hustle, man. That's all you gotta do. That's a common mistake that a lot of young men and men in their 20s in general do. And last but not least, man, this one right here. A mistake that, you know, men in their 20s should avoid is wasting your money. Now, in my early 20s, for example, I remember when I would get my scholarship refund check, you feel me, the FAFSA. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, man. The FAFSA, the student aid. I would hit up the mall and go to Dillard's and buy polo and go buy stupid stuff and clothes. Yo, had I known what I know now, you know how much money I could have saved up from my early 20s? I could have put that into some assets. I could have put that on a down payment on a house as a new homeowner at a lower percentage. And by now, I could have rented that house out. I could have invested into myself more. I could have bought more courses. I could have educated myself. I could have traveled to different countries to gain different experience, learn another language to become a man of value. So a common mistake that a lot of men in our 20s make is that we simply waste money. We just waste money because we're just living in the now. And understand, it's good to live in the present. There's nothing wrong with living in the present, but at the same time, you gotta have balance. And you gotta know, if you just made $2,000, why would you spend $1,900 on some designer? Why you have another man's named at? Why you have another man's name on you? Why not put it into your own business with your own logo? Put your own logo on you. But not to make this video long-winded, man, those are 6 common mistakes that a lot of men in their 20s make. These are a lot of mistakes that I made in my early 20s, and so I wanted to help you guys out today. Hope you guys got tons of value from this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit a like. It helps us out a lot more than you can imagine. It helps us get our videos out to way more people, to help and reach more people all across the world. I appreciate you guys. Consider subscribing if you are new. As always, I send you peace, love, good energy, good vibes, man. I'm out.